right? Shalom, shalom, shalom. We're going to turn and face the east towards Jerusalem, and we're going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. All right? Shalom to the elect, those that are fighting to endure to the end, and that are calling on the names of the Father in the name of the only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, who the word English calls Jesus. Shalom, right? The name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, meaning He is, all right? And that is in the ancient Paleo-Hebrew, the Lashawan Kodash, all right? Shalom to the brothers and sisters, okay? Now, as the title of the lesson goes, the least or surely the least of the flock should draw them out, all right? And that's what we're witnessing. We're witnessing the least of the flock, all right? Which is who? Esau. To be more particular, Amalek, the small hats. They're getting America involved in this thing, which is turning out to look like World War III, okay? So surely the least of the flock should draw them out, okay? Because why? It's biblical end time prophecies, man. America's finna enter into the third woe, World War III, and destruction, all right? Now here it is, earlier this week, it was said that a Tomahawk missile hit a Iranian all-girls school, killing over 100 children, all right? And when asked about that, President Donald J. Trump said he don't know if it's America, all right? Because why? He's saying that other countries have Tomahawk missiles, but that's BS, all right? That's BS, and if they got it, America supplied them with it, all right? And reports are coming out to show that indeed it was America that hit that Iranian all-girls school, all right, on behalf of Israel, okay? So surely the least of the flock should draw them out, man, all right? America is getting involved in this third war. It's beautiful, all right? Because that spells the end of this man's kingdom, okay? But we know in order for it to go full-blown, that mark of the beast, that RFID microchip has to be made mandatory. Now let me look into the story on the Tomahawk missile. Because when I pulled up this article yesterday, there was numerous stories on it, but now all Google is giving you is 2 stories. So let me do it again and see what it gives us. Come on, Esau, stop playing with the devices. I'm gonna type in Tomahawk missile hit school, all right? See, America's being found out, man, to be that bully, okay? They even hiding the information on their own website, Google. So let's see, we got to do some research. I should have screenshot it. This is the AI overview. It says recent investigations into February 28, 2026 strike on the Shajara Tayyaba Girls School in Menabab, Iran indicates that a U.S. Tomahawk cruise missile was likely responsible. See, the least of the flock should draw them out, man. All right. They're heavily involved in this thing now. Okay, it says the strike killed at least 168 to 175 people. Those are children. All right, where's the outcry for them? All right, let it have been the small hats. It would have been an uproar over all social media, perpetrated by who? The devil himself, Esau. But now that it's another country, particularly one that's at odds with the small hats, the state of Israel, they hide it. They don't make it publicly accessible as they would if it was the small hats, the Amalekites. It says the strike unalived at least 168 to 175 people. Those are children. It's an all-girls school. It says the vast majority of whom were children. See, the least of the flock should draw them out, man. America's being exposed for exactly who we thought they were, all right? Nothing but the wicked. Job 9:24. The earth is given unto the hand of the wicked. See, once you understand biblical prophecies, these things don't surprise you, man. It only confirms, okay? They don't surprise us that America would do something like that, all right? Because we understand that this is the wicked, all right? The Edomites are the wicked of the earth, man. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. What do? They cover the faces of the judges thereof. That's why it's by no sheer coincidence that every biblical figure in the Holy Bible looks like an Edomite. From Jesus to Moses to Miriam to Solomon to David, you know, they all paint their images in their likeness. All right, because they wicked, man. So it's by no sheer coincidence that they trying to hide and cover up this as much as possible and don't want to take accountability, man. You did it, own up to it. All right? You know good and damn well you got the intel, you the president of the free world, and you know whether or not that strike was taken by American or not. But see, you trying to save face for your country's sake. All right, so that the world don't see you as who you truly are, a barbarian, all right, a brutish man, all right, a basest man, should I say, Slakia. But it's too late, man. War was in his heart. This is what he was created for, all right? You can't get mad at the creation. The creator created him for this, all right? And once you understand that, see, you move a little bit more differently. Doing what? Never trusting thy enemies. If you can't pinpoint who your enemy is, you're gonna trust this devil telling you that oil prices are going to come back down low and even lower than before. It's only gonna be temporarily. Once the reserves run out, then what? What's gonna be the permanent fix? World War III. And that's what we're waiting on. Surely the least of the flock should draw them out, man. America is getting deep into this, man. Okay, getting deep into this. All right, and we all for it, Lord willing. Abaratazar, we are all for it. We all for the downfall of Babylon the Great. All right, and we're gonna go into it a little bit. Okay, so let's see what Google talking about now. Let's see if Google want to play a little bit better now. Still don't want to do it. But we'll read the headline from CNN. It says, United States strike likely hit a school. No, they hit it. Or they supplied, the small hats with the missile, they hit it. Nevertheless, surely the least of the flock should draw them out. All right, they here, man. Okay, you can try to cover up the Epstein files and everything else, but you're still going to be found out, man, as being what? The wicked that the Bible speaks of. Okay, Job 9:24. We quoted it early, roughly paraphrasing. So back to the CNN headline, it says U.S. strike likely hit. Now it hit the school. We just read that 165 to 175 people were unalive, mostly children. So it ain't likely hit, it hit. All right. It says likely hit a school in Iran due to outdated intelligence. Nah, you know exactly what was going on. All right. You want to store it. It's ultimately the Lord that's storing up this whole bout, this whole war. Because why? Yahweh is a man of war. I believe that's Exodus 15:3. So guess what? He's all for it. He's all for this. He's bringing all the nations together in the valley of Yahweh Shaphat to do what? Plead for them, to judge them. And we're going to read that as well, Lord willing. So it says, U.S. strike It should say hit a school, not likely, because it didn't miss. It hit a school in Iran due to outdated intelligence. Wait, but I thought this was the best military on the earth. How did they get outdated intelligence? This thing ain't adding up, man. Surely the least of the flock should draw them out. No, they knew exactly what they did. They had up-to-date intelligence to know that those was children there, and they wanted to send a message to Iran to stop playing around with the oil, man. All right, because wow, we willing to take it as far as taking out children. You know, get the Strait of Hormuz back up. We want our tanks to be able to go through there and to have access to these oil rigs and so on and so forth. All right, so they knew exactly what they did. They didn't have outdated intelligence. It says sources brief. Let's click on that a little bit and see what it says. It says sources brief. Hey, they keep changing this daily, minute. Sources brief on initial findings say. So they got the sources, they got the intel, they know who hit that all-girls school in Iran. They know it was a Tomahawk missile, cruise missile by the United States of America. All right. Surely the least of the flock should draw them out, man. All right. So now America is getting one foot in at a time, man. All right. So we're gonna see how this is gonna continue to play out as it progresses. So let's go ahead and get that in Jeremiah 50. We're going to read that in Jeremiah 50 and 45, and we're going to read it in a different translation as well. Okay? So give me 1 second. Let me read that in Jeremiah 50 and 45. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50 and verse 45. It reads, "Therefore, hear ye the counsel of Yahweh." So this is what Yahweh wants. "That he have taken against Babylon." Where's Babylon? Now you got the ancient Mesopotamian Babylon that's in Iraq, but then you got Babylon in the spirit, which is America, man. So this is the counsel that he's taken against America, Babylon the Great. It says what? It says, in his purposes, this is the purposes of him taking this counsel against Babylon. It says, that he have purpose against the land of the Chaldeans, right? All of his sorceries, all right? Because when you go back to the ancient Chaldeans, they were wizards, warlocks, so on and so forth. That's no different from today, all right? Because America is full of sorceries and witchcraft and enchantments, man, all right? Through its what? Through its media, all right? Mainstream media and social media, all right? For the longest, they controlled the narrative of who the false so-called Jews were, of who the children of Israel were, and hey, they've been made out, man. All right, it's no longer a secret. We already know. All right, we know that we're the children of the Most High, and they're the who? They're the wicked that the Bible speaks of. So now their sorcery has ran out, should I say? At least for the elect's sake. Now you got 2/3 of our people that won't believe it until it happens, and to them, we say good luck. All right, because when you find out that you've been lied to, especially in the times that's getting ready to come, famine, sword, and pestilence, okay? It's finna amp up, man, because this man knows he has but a short time, all right? So guess what? With this war getting ready to pop off, oil prices are gonna skyrocket. They said it's projected to be $200 for a barrel of oil, all right? Right now it's 105, and you see the gas prices now. Imagine when it hits $200, $300 a barrel, man. You're going to be paying for $10 a gallon of gas or diesel. And that's going to have a profound impact on your grocery stores, man. You think you're going to still be paying $2 for a loaf of bread when gas prices are going up? No. You're going to be paying $8, $9 a loaf of bread, man. $5 for a gallon of milk. And people are going to be paying for it because why? They need food to eat. All right. So these oil prices are going to have a profound impact across the board. Insurance. You got a car, your insurance is going to go up. You got a mortgage, your mortgage is going to go up. You got an apartment, your rent is going to go up. This impact that we're getting ready to embrace for is going to be felt across the whole board. And unless you have Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah fighting on your side, good luck trying to navigate yourself throughout it, man. Okay, because it tells us your gold and your silver should not be able to deliver you in the day of affliction. See, it's gonna be an all-out war here in America as well. Race wars, riots, civil unrest. Because why? These stores are going to eventually run out of food, and when that happens, people are going to revert to some unknown things that they never thought they would do. Eating babies. It's all in the Bible, man. It's coming to life as we speak. The Bible is the living word, man. You're going to have women out here sacrificing their babies just so their other children can eat. All right? What do you think a famine entails? A lack of bread, man. When you got 5 children and 4 of them are starving and hungry, and you got to make that sacrifice to feed your 4 children, one of your other children, it's going to be a sad day, man. See, and we've been telling you that. To get right with Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah right now. So when that time comes, he'll show you favor and have mercy on you. But what do? You mock, you laugh, you think that this will never happen. So guess what? When it happens, it's on you, right? So it says, Jeremiah 50 and 45. Therefore hear ye the counsel of Yahweh. It says that he have taken against Babylon, which is America. It says, and his purposes, right? Because his purpose is to destroy this bitch, man. All right, because why? It's complete wicked, man. Its sins has reached the heavens, man. The Lord is getting ready to judge this place, man. And that's why he's bringing America into this war. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. All right, we're going to get it. It says that he have taken against Babylon and his purposes, that he have purpose against the land of the Chaldeans. It says surely, meaning without a shadow of a doubt, man, it's going to happen. It's written in the Holy Bible. You can bank, you can bank on it. All right. See, one thing about the word, these prophecies, they never fail. Okay. They may take a while, but they're gonna get around to doing what they're supposed to do. All right. That's why it says the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, meaning though it take a while, wait for it. It will surely come. It will not tarry. Because once it's here, ain't no turning back. Ain't no putting it back in the bottle. All right. Once all hell breaks loose, you're gonna know what time it is. All right, you're gonna know what time it is. When you go into the gas pumps and you check out the gas price, well, damn. Just last week I was paying $4 a gallon of gas, $4 a gallon of gas. Now this week I'm paying $8. Shit, man. And then you're gonna have to make sacrifices. Do you eat, or do you fuel your car to get to work so that you can eat? See? Because it's gonna be a famine of fuel too, man. These truck drivers, they got to make a living. They gonna charge more to deliver goods. If they got to pay $15 for a gallon of diesel fuel to travel across country to deliver food to stores, guess what? They're gonna charge more to deliver. And in turn, those stores are gonna charge you more, the consumer, to purchase the product. All right? So this is the counsel of the Lord that he has taken against Babylon the Great, America. It says that he have purpose against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. See? So America, America's deep in it, man. All right, they getting deep into it. With that attack on that Iranian all-girls school with a Tomahawk cruise missile, unaliving 175 people, most of them were children. The world ain't gonna look too kindly on that. All right, and they trying. I just looked up on the internet. They trying to scrub the internet as much as possible. Last night when I did the research, the stories popped up over the internet. Now, not so much. All right, but nevertheless, hey, surely the least of the flock should draw them out, man. America's getting involved into this war because why? It's backed by, or it's backing up the state of Israel. The so-called Jews, you know, they're not real Jews, they're Jewish. All right. The real Jews are the so-called blacks. All right. Primarily Judah, Levi, and Benjamin. They make up the southern kingdom. All right. And then you got Judah, which is where you get the word Jew from. So the real Jews are so-called black people, man. All right, but you got the imposters or the converts over there that's being found out to be what? Just that, imposters, man. And they're getting America involved into this third World War III. All right, and the people are seeing it. Other countries are watching this, man. They're watching the unravel of America right before their very own eyes, man. And Lord willing, we take hold and take part of that, and we get to see it because it says, "Better is the end of a thing than the beginning." All right, and blessed is he that sees his enemies' downfall. We're witnessing the downfall of America, man, right before our very own eyes, man. This thing with Iran, it's not small, it's not little by any stretch of the imagination. It's just the beginning. All right, it's just the beginning. Okay, things are going to amp up, and like stated earlier, they have a little bit of oil reserve to prop up the economy for a short period of time, but then after that, what next? Prices are going to skyrocket. Oil prices are going to skyrocket. It's going to probably get up to $300 a barrel, man. Hey, what you better do? You better get you some type of wheels. You better get you a road bike or something. No, what you better do is you better repent and turn to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, man. All right, while you still got time, seek the Lord while he may be found. So it says, surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. See, when these small hats draw America into the third war or World War III, that's going to seal America's fate. All right, because why? Eventually, they're going to have to make the microchip mandatory. And then at that point, the missiles are going to come to destroy this bitch, man. All right, this whore. All right, because that's what it's looked at. All right, America is looked at a whore. America is looked at as a whore, man. Meaning what? Everyone that ran through it. All right, all these other nations, they done came over here. They done got rich off of America, and they done went back to their land, man. All right, but see, America was first built up back on the slaves of back on the back of slaves, man. Just like other places, all right, where Israelites dwell in the islands, all right. Puerto Rico, Haiti, Jamaica, all those islands, all right, they were built on the what? On the back of the slaves through what? Commodities like tobacco, cotton, sugar, and everything else, all right? Pretty much these Edomites got cheap labor off the backs of the Israelites, man, all right? But see, America is the melting pot of all. This is where all nations are at. So all the nations that ran through this whore, and now they get ready to go back to their own prospective land. But before then, Lord is going to judge this whore, man. All right? Because the only way you can judge a whore is with fire. All right? You got to burn them, man. All right? And that's America's judgment, is to be destroyed by thermonuclear fire, those missiles. Okay? So let's read that little part again, and then we'll get it in the BBE, the Basic Bible English. It says, surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. All right. Now let's get this in the NLT, because it reads a little bit different in the NLT, but nevertheless, it still hits home. This is Jeremiah 50:45 in the BBE. Salakia, not the NLT, but the BBE. Check this out. This is Jeremiah 50:45 in the Basic Bible English translation. It says, so give ear to the decision of the Lord. So listen up. Which he has made against Babylon, America, and to his purposes designed against the land of the Chaldeans, all right, which is America. It says, truly, they will be pulled away by the smallest of the flock, which are what? The Amalekites, the so-called, the imposters, all right? The J's, the JOOs. Because you gotta, even now, you gotta be careful how you word these things, because why? They'll take your video down, they'll hit you with strikes, close your channel out, showing you that these ain't the people of the Bible, man. All right? You gotta speak in code just to tell the truth, man. got to speak in code, because if you say who they are, they'll come against you with anti-Semitism and so on and so forth. Well, guess what? F it, man. Talking about the so-called Jews, those fake Jews over there, those Amalekites, man. All right, they ain't the real biblical Israelites. They converts that converted into Judaism. All right, they have nothing to do with the Holy Bible, man. So it says, so give ear to the decision of the Lord, which he has made against Babylon, America, and to his purposes designed against the land of the Chaldeans over here in America, where all this witchcraft is taking place. It says, truly, they will be pulled away by the smallest of the flock, which is the Amalekites. All right, the small hats. They're gonna get America involved into this third World War III, the end all, the be all. All right. It says, truly, he will make waste their fields with them. See, all this you see in America, from sea to shining sea, from the east to the west, from New York to California to down south here in Florida to up there in New York, all this shit finna be burned, man, by the way of thermonuclear fire. All right. But first, the microchip has to be made mandatory. All right. So surely the least of the flock is going to draw America into this third world war. All right. Now let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and open up and go to let's go to Revelation 18. All right, because we got to see just exactly what's going to happen, man. This is Revelation 18 and 1. All right, because this is coming to pass. Prophecy will succeed. All right. This is Revelation, which means to reveal. 18 and 1. It says, and after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightning with his glory. See, so this is a future prophecy. All right. It says, verse 2, Revelation 18 and 2. It says, and he cried mightily with a strong voice. What did he say? Saying, Babylon the Great is fallen. So the angel has already proclaimed this place to be destroyed. All right. And the Lord is holding back the angels over there until the set number is fulfilled, which we vehemently believe that the 144,000 are all but sealed. So that's why this thing is getting ready to pop off, man. Because the elect has been all but sealed. All those that's going to receive this word has heard it and has repented, and now the Lord is getting ready to bring forth his judgment. It says, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and it's become the habitation of devils. See? And that's the Chaldeans, man. All right, what's going on with you, man? All right, then. And that's the place, all right, and that's the place of the Chaldeans, man, full of deception, full of trickery, all right? Just devils, because that's what the word devil means, false accuser. So this place has to be breached, and it's going to be breached by the way of those thermonuclear missiles, man. All right, and there's nothing that Esau can do about it. All right, he can't prolong his time. All right, and he can't, because hey, what does the scripture say? I can't think about it, but I think it's in the book of Job. All right, where he can't supersede his boundaries. All right, there's nothing he can do to prolong these prophecies. Okay, I do so believe that's in the book of Job, where he has his boundaries and he cannot go past them. It might be Job 18. I might look at it and see if I can find it in here. So it says, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, the land of the Chaldeans, man, full of sorcery and witchcraft and so on and so forth. It says, in the whole of every foul spirit. And that's this place inception. All right. It has every foul spirit. You can sleep with animals. You can sleep with the same gender. and there's nothing that's going to happen to you. All right, it's a whole of every foul spirit. All type of abominations are running wild in this damn kingdom, man. All right, which is why this place has to be destroyed and never to be built up again. It says, and the whole of every foul spirit and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Now let me see if I can find that precept in Job. Because there's nothing that this devil can do to prolong his kingdom. Let me look it up. Let me look it up. I can't find it. Let me see if I can look it up. Give me 1 second. Because this devil, he isn't escaping his judgment, man. He has set boundaries. Let me see if I can find it. Give me 1 second. That's it. Job 14:5. Let's go there. I know it's in the book of Job. So let's get that in Job 14:5. All right? Because this devil can't escape prophecy, man. This is Job chapter 14 and verse 5. Let's get it, man. He got boundaries. All right? This is Job 14:5. It says, seeing his days are numbered. See? And it says, seeing his days are determined, Salakia, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. See? So this devil has but a short time. All right? The Lord has set out his kingdom's duration on how long he's going to rule. So this is why the state of Israel, the small hats, the Amalekites, has drawn this devil into this war, because this devil is getting ready to be taken out of power, man. His bounds, his length of rulership is getting ready to come to an end. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. All right, you got to understand biblical prophecy. So now when we read Revelation 18 and verse 2, it says, and he cried mightily, this is the angel, with a strong voice saying, Babylon the great is fallen, is fallen. This is what the prophets are screaming out, man. All right, because why? The prophets are looked as angels as well, messengers of the Most High. All right, it says, saying Babylon the great is fallen, it's bounds. This kingdom is meeting the end of its rulership. Its bounds is set for an appointed time. All right, and we're at that time. That's why the Lord is allowing this to take place. That's why the Lord is allowing these incidents to manifest more than they did in the previous. All right, because why? We're at the end of this man's rulership, his kingdom. So it says, and it's become the habitation of devils and the whole of every foul spirit, in a cage of every unclean and hateful bird, man. That's all this place breeds. It's uncleanness. All right? Be whatever you want to be. That's why this whore is getting ready to be judged, man. Verse 3, Revelation 18:3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. See? They've all gotten mad off the philosophies of this whore, man. Right? Through democracy, through false religion, through ideologies, so on and so forth. It says, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. That's why she's a harlot, a whore, man. That's why this place has to be destroyed, man. All right? Because all these other nations have came in here and pretty much contribute to the whoredom. All right? And Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is getting ready to judge this whore, man. This great whore. It says, Revelation 18:3, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundancy of her delicacies. And verse 4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people. See, this is the Lord calling up the elect into the chariots when the missiles hit and touch down here in America. All right? The elect is going to be beamed up simultaneously as the missiles come to destroy America and elsewhere throughout the earth, but primarily here in the United States of America, man. This is why biblical prophecy is important to understand. What's going on over there in Iran is setting the stage for what's going to happen here on the shores of America. All right? So it says, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Verse 4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people. Why? That ye be not partakers of her sins. See? So this place has a judgment that's coming because of her sins. All right? And we're going to read it. It says, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Right? Because what are her plagues? Death, famine, sword, pestilence, and ultimately the thermonuclear missiles. All right? See? So it's all leading up into the time where this place is going to be annihilated, burned. Micah 4:1 says what? Let's read that. This is the book of Micah, chapter 4 and verse 1, because this is what it's all leading up to. All right? And we here to tell you, man, before it happens. Okay? So you have no excuse. This is Micah chapter 4 and verse, is it Micah or Malachi? It might be Malachi. Let's try Malachi. This is Malachi chapter 4 and verse 1. Yes, it reads, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. What is that day? The day of the Lord, man. When this place gets judged, it's going to burn as an oven. This is the plague. It says, that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. See? Don't hand join in hand. Just because you're an Israelite, don't exempt you from this judgment. If you don't repent and turn back to the Lord while he may be found, guess what? You're going to be part of that judgment along with Esau and the other nations here in America. It says, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and that day that cometh shall burn them up, saith Yahweh of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. See? A lot of bloodlines are going to be cut off here in America, man. All right? A lot of bloodlines, all right? If you ain't of the elect, you ain't coming out of America unscathed, man. All right? That's just the end of the story, man. All right? If you here in America, you're going to be burned up. Your bloodline is going to end here in America. Now, you'll come back in the kingdom in your right mind, but as far as what you thought you was going to build up generational wealth and everything else, nah, it ain't happening, man. It's all coming to a boiling point. The Lord is getting ready to set this place on fire. Okay? So back to Revelation 18 and verse 4, it says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Why? For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. See? This is why he's allowing this to happen. This is why he's allowing the small hats to draw America out, to get involved into this third war, World War III. China and Russia is going to get involved, all right? It's finna go full blown as soon as they make that microchip mandatory. We ain't got too much time left, all right? We're going to be out of here. You know, once that microchip is made mandatory, we're going to be out of here probably in the amount of days or weeks, okay? It's going to be quick, man. Once that microchip is made mandatory, things are going to move expeditiously, all right? It says, for her sins has reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. Verse 6, reward her even as she rewarded you. See? It says, what else? And double unto her, double according to her works. That's why this place is going to be, that's why this place is going to fall with the quickness. Because those missiles, 200 million missiles, when those warheads detach and allow those missiles to fall out, it's going to be 200 million missiles that destroy this whore, all right? In an hour. It ain't going to take long, man, all right? It ain't going to take long. It says, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. And the cup which she hath filled to her double. See? So these other nations, they got one purpose. That's to burn this whore, man. All right? Hold nothing back. Let all your arsenal out. All your missiles that you got stockpiled, let them go. All you countries that have the capability of bend the boat, aim it at America and let it go, man. That's your whole purpose. All right? So it says, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. And the cup which she hath filled to her double. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. Why? It says, for she saith in her heart, and this is the mindset of the average Edomite, all right? So how much more the elite, all right? This is their mindset. It says, for she say in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow and shall see no sorrow. See? Well, we're going to see what the Lord says about that, all right? Because America will be destroyed, man, all right? You're going to sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, because up until that point, this place hasn't been touched in the sense that missiles have never hit the shorelines of America, all right? All other countries have had missiles. We know in Iran, they dropping missiles left or right. See, but that's unheard of in a place, in a country like America, man. But in that time, she's going to sit in the dust, all right? Virgin, meaning she's never been penetrated. Missiles have never came here. But in that time, when these countries line up their missiles and aim at this place, oh, she ain't going to be a virgin no more at that time, all right? She going to be touched, okay? And we're going to get it, Isaiah 47, right after this. It says, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow. She's going to be a widow. What else? And shall see no sorrow. And she's going to witness and have sorrow. Verse 8, Revelation 18 and 8. It says, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine. And she, America, shall be utterly burned with fire. Those missiles alongside the chariots too. It says, for strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. See? Surely, hear this counsel of the Lord. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. The small hats are drawing America out for the counsel of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right, to judge this whore with fire. Okay, let's go to Isaiah 47 and verse 1. Although we may end up reading the whole chapter because it's just 15 or 17 verses, but it's a strong chapter nevertheless. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 47 and verse 1. Let's go to Isaiah 47 and 1. It reads, Isaiah 47 and 1. Come down and sit in the dust. See? The Lord is already proclaiming this, telling America, come down and sit in the dust, man. That's your future prophecy. Job 14 and 5, he has set bounds that he cannot pass, man. It says, Isaiah 47 1, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin, because this place has never been touched before by missiles. Daughter of Babylon. It says, sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. Right? Because this place is known for its witchcraft. All right? It says, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. All right? This place is being exposed, man. Like we started off with the article on what's going on over there at the school with those children, 175 people unalive by a Tomahawk cruise missile, man. It's being exposed. It's witchcraft, although they're trying to hide as much as possible and not take the blame, they can't run from it, all right? They can't run from it. They being exposed, and they being exposed first and foremost by the servants, the prophets of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. All right, because just imagine if this word wasn't vital and going out as it would, these damn devils could still tell lies and no one would hold them accountable, man. But now through the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, through his prophets, the servants that he set up, they're exposing this devil and all his lies, all right, and all his witchcraft. So it says, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind meal. Uncover thy locks. Make bare the leg. Uncover the thigh. Pass over the rivers. See, so this place is being exposed on all levels, man. All right. The word is coming out around the clock, exposing Esau Edom, man. It says, verse 3, thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. We just seen what happened over there in Iran, man. And this damn devil don't even want to man up and take responsibility. Oh, I don't know. Even if you did know, you wouldn't give a formal apology. You wouldn't say, yeah, we did it. We shouldn't have done it. We made a mistake. No, you try to put it off on someone else, man. Just like Esau Edom, man, to be that damn devil, all right? That cunning, slickery ass serpent, man. It says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. So when Yahweh Shai returns, guess what? He's not coming back in a man. He's not coming back as a man. He's coming back in an angelic glory. All right. It says, what else? It says, as for our Redeemer, Yahweh of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. See, that's what's going to get us out of this. Yahweh through his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai. All right. That's the only way we're coming out of here. You're not going to get on a boat or charter a plane and leave America once the missiles come. Either you of the elect and you're going to get beamed up into the chariots, or you of the 2/3 and the other nations, and you're gonna witness that oven heat that's gonna burn like the day of an oven, man. And your bloodline is gonna be cut off here in America, man. Okay, that's just the end of the matter. All right. So it says, "I will not meet thee as a man. As for our Redeemer, Yahweh of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the lady of kingdoms." See, this place is going out in fashion, all right? This place is going out in a spectacular fashion, man, all right? Thermonuclear fire in chariots, and the elect are going to be delivered in spectacular fashion as well, man. They're going to culminate simultaneously at the same time. As this place is getting taken out in spectacular fashion, the elect is going to be delivered in spectacular fashion, man. You can't tell me that the Lord ain't far out, man. If you do, you're lying. It says, "Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the lady of kingdoms." And it says, verse 6, "I was wroth with my people." This is how you was able to put us into slavery, because the Lord was wroth with us. Because why? We sinned against him. All right. It says, "I have polluted my inheritance and given them into thine hand." This is the only way you got us right now, by the way of the Lord, man. And now he's getting ready to redeem the elect. All right. That's why Yahushua is coming. He's not going to meet you as a man. See? So it says, "Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke." See? That's why you got our elderly still working at 70 years old, talking about a retirement, man. You laid that yoke back in slavery, and you laying that yoke still today, because you can't retire until you're 65, 70 to get your benefits. Your full benefits don't kick in to about 70, 75. By that time, you probably only got a couple of years left, because you ain't eating right, you ain't exercising at that age, you're not what's the word I'm looking for? You're not vibrant. You're at your end, man. And then this damn devil want to take the yoke off and say you can enjoy your life. But with the cost of inflation, you can't enjoy shit, man. The little $500, $600, $700, $800, $900 you get a month ain't gonna be nothing, man. When you got gas costing $12 a gallon, when you got rent skyrocketing to $3,000 a month, what are you gonna do? You're gonna have to go find another job. See, this damn devil has laid that yoke on our necks back then and even till today, all right? It says, "And thou sayest," well, you know what? Let's go back up to 2 or 6. "Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke." You can retire at 70. If you retire at 60, you don't get your benefits until 65. But if you work till you're 70, then you get all your benefits. What good is all those benefits going to do when it's not outpacing the cost of living? The cost of living is continually skyrocketing, man. So it's a trap, man. See, they took the yokes off our necks in slavery, and they put us into what? Mental yokes. Now you got to work forever. That's the plan, man. To have you to work until you croak. All right? Now, if you want to break, guess what? They're going to give you that and allow you to receive universal basic income eventually in the form of that RFID microchip. All right? Things are going to get so hectic that you're going to beg them to give you that microchip. And they're going to oblige to your demands. Or you want that chip? Come on down to your nearest station and stick out your right hand. We're going to help you. We're going to give you that loaf of bread. We're going to give you a break on your rent, on your mortgage. Gas prices will allow you to have more, credit so you can get a little bit more gas so you can travel, so you can go to work. All right? So this damn devil, man, he's wicked, man. All right? He's still got that yoke around our neck. Although it's not physically, but it's spiritually, it's still mentally getting us to do what? Sin. Because why? Jake got to eat. Jake got to get the necessities, and they're not seeking the Lord. So what are they doing? They're sinning, man. All right? And the Lord's going to require that judgment because they didn't want to repent. See? This devil knows exactly what he's doing. So it says, upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke, and thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever. See? You think your kingdom is going to go on forever, man. You think you're going to have Jake working till they turn 100 forever, man. Not so. It says, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart. Right. Because if you knew the Lord was coming and to punish you for all your wickedness, you would ease up on Jake, man. You would let Jake catch a break, man. But no, you want to work Jake to the bones, man. Until that nigga can't stand up straight no more, man. You have Jake getting out the bed. Oh, my back. Damn. You got Jake looking at the clock. Damn, I only got 10 more minutes before I got to get up and go to work. And Jake's 70 years old, man. See, if you knew who you had in captivity, you wouldn't do it, but you would because you're the damn devil, man. All right, the Lord couldn't have created a more wicked nation than Esau to get this job done, man. So it says, and thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. Therefore, hear now this, thou that are given to pleasures. See, that's all you Americans want, man. And you Jakes that join hand in hand with this place, you just want pleasures, quick gratifications, man. If you can get your rocks off, you don't care if that woman got a husband. You don't care if you eating abominable food. Because why? As is the king, so is his people. If the damn king is wicked, what do you think the people are going to be? Wicked. All right? So it says, therefore hear now this, thou that are given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow. This the audacity of this damn devil, man. To say that he gonna sit as no widow, that as what the Lord said isn't gonna hold effect to him. That's where it comes into place. Psalms 58:1. We're gonna get that. It says, I am none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. Oh, you're gonna know it, and you're gonna feel it, man. All right? When they send your children off into a fight in this third war, World War III, you Americans, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel the gravitational of losing your loved ones, your children. Just like they feel it in Iran, you're gonna feel it here when your son, when your daughter got to go fight in this third world war. All right, because that draft is coming back. All right, the military draft is coming back, and they saying they're gonna sign you up automatically. See, back in my day, back in the early 2000s, when I turned 18, you had to mail in your card for selective service. But now they saying at the end of this year, they're gonna automatically sign you up for the military draft if you're between the ages of 18 and 25. Whether you are a natural born citizen or if you're coming over here from another country. 18 to 25, automatically sign up for the fight in the third war, World War III, letting you know where we heading to, okay? So it says, I shall sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But, verse 9, Isaiah 47:9, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children, what else? And widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection. for the multitude of thy sorceries. See? So the Lord is getting ready to judge this place for the multitude of thy sorceries, man. All right? Because, hey, although Jake going off, it ain't help that this damn wicked kingdom contributed to it. All right? Had them praying to sweet Jesus. Because we know our grandparents coming up in the Christian church, that's all they prayed to. Had a picture of Caesar Borgia hanging on their wall. You know, grandma had a picture of him over her bedpost. You know, because of what? These damn sorceries, man. So this damn devil got to pay for it because he didn't help the cause by perpetrating that image of Caesar Borgia. See? And we're going to get it. Joel 3. That's what Joel 3 is for. It says, I shall sit as a widow. No, verse 9. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment and one day. The loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thy enchantments. See? That's all this place is full of. Is sorceries and enchantments, man. And that's why we give all praises. Call Haloyim La Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem HaMashiach Yahweh Shai, for waking us up, man. Because we were asleep, all right? Believing these things. We had got rocked to sleep through Esau's enchantments and sorceries, all right? But it was the Holy Spirit that when we heard this truth, it snatched us up by our collar, man. Wake up, man. And we found out the end is near. Salvation is nearer than what we believe. See? We got up out of that deep sleep, man. And ever since, Lord willing, we stay awake. It says, verse 10, Isaiah 47:10. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it have perverted thee. See? Because you think you know a little something. Because it tells us in Daniel, if I'm not mistaken, that he is wiser than Daniel, man. See? Through his technology, his little wisdom that he think he got, his AI. You know, you can't tell this devil nothing. All right? He think he knows everything. All right? But see, that's the pride that the Lord allowed him to have, to allow him to ascend to heights never before. Because why? The Lord is going to bring his ass down, man. Just like he set him up, he's going to bring him down. All right? Thus saith the Lord. Thus saith the Holy Bible. It says, for Isaiah 47:10, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it have perverted thee. And thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. See, this is why this damn devil want to be like the Most High, man. All right? He want to rule like the Most High. All right? That's why it says in 2 Thessalonians, he sit as the Most High. Let's see if we can get that. This is the book of 2 Thessalonians. Because we just going into a little bit of the mindset of this damn devil. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Let's get the mindset of this devil. In verse 4. This is the book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 4. It says, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High. Why? Or that is worshiped, so that he as the Most High. This is how this devil want to see himself, portray himself as the Most High. That's why Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. How did he do that? With whitewash. During his Renaissance, his rebirth, he painted the image of God to look like him, the image of who you call Jesus to look like him, and all the other prophets. Because why? He wants to sit as the Most High. That's the pride of this. That's the pride of this devil. It says, who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he, as the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. Job 9:24. This Bible is true, man. You can't dispute it unless you're a fool. All right. So now when we go back to Isaiah 47 in verse 10, it says, "It hath perverted thee," speaking of his wisdom and knowledge, "and thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else besides me." See, this devil wants to be most high, man. And he's going to attempt that with his new world order. All right, the mark of the beast system. All right, the system, the beast is the system composed or comprised of NATO, EU, and America, man. They're setting up a system where in order for you to buy and sell, you're going to have to take that charagma, that mark, that RFID microchip. All right. So it says, verse 11, "Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth." That's why you can't see what's happening. That's why you can't see how the Lord used this incident to draw you into this bout, this heavyweight bout, because it's gonna get real in a little bit, man. Once Mother Russia and China step up to the plate, hey, gloves are coming off, man. All right, it's finna get real dicey out there, man. All right, see, it seems peaceful right now. It seems peaceful, but soon it's finna get real, as they say on the battlefield. All right. So it says, "Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth." See, you can't even fathom or imagine that the Lord got you in his trick bag, man. As it says in Jeremiah, "I have laid a snare and thou was unaware." You can't even see how the Lord paired you up with the small hats to get you involved in this, this catastrophe that's waiting to happen. All right. But sooner or later, you're going to find out, man. All right. And once you do, you're going to be in shackles and chains, taking your ass into slavery. All right. So it says, "Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it rises, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know." So, hey, you Americans, you Egyptians, you Babylonians, you ain't finna know what's gonna hit you, man. When it hits you, it's gonna be too late. All right, the Lord is gonna make speedy riddance of you. It says, verse 12, Isaiah 47:12. "Stand now with thy enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth." See? Let's get that. Psalms 58 and verse 1. From thy youth. What does it say? Let's read that. This is Psalms 58 and verse 1. Psalms 58 and 1. It reads, give me one second. This is the book of Psalm, chapter 58 and verse 3. It says, "The wicked are estranged from the womb." What do? They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. As soon as this place was established, America, in 1776, it spoke lies, man. This place has never been a God-fearing country, man, which is why it's getting ready to be judged. See? As soon as they be born, they go estranged, speaking lies. Let's read that again. Psalms 58 and verse 3. It says, "The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon, not later, as soon as they be born, speaking lies. This is the land of the Chaldeans, full of enchantments, sorceries, and witchcraft. And that's been its inception since it was born in 1776. This place is a corporation. It's not a country, man. All right? Under masonry by their so-called quote-unquote forefathers. All right? George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Benjamin Franklin, and I believe Thomas Jefferson. All right? As soon as it was born, as soon as they wrote the Declaration of Independence, this place was speaking lies, witchcraft, enchantments. See? The Bible holds true, man. All right, so let's read that again, and then we're going to go back to Isaiah 47. This is Psalms 58:3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. That's all this place is filled with. Lies, enchantments, sorceries, witchcraft. That's why this place has to be judged, man. All right? Because there's nothing else left for it. All right? The lies has ran out. The truth is out in fullness. We've woken up to who we are. We know that this place is getting ready to be destroyed. The elect is turning back to the Lord, repenting and asking for mercy. And now he's getting ready to what? Judge this whore. By what? The way of thermonuclear fire, man. See? So we just proud and happy that the Lord woke us up in time to avoid it. As we read in Malachi 4:1, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, that shall leave them neither root nor branch. A lot of people bloodlines are going to end here in America, man. All that generational wealth you thought you was going to have and set up for generations to come, that shit is coming to an end, man. Surely the least of the flock should draw them out, man. They already got America involved in this. When America hit that girls' school over there in Iran, that pretty much showed you exactly who they are. And then they try to deny it by saying, oh, we don't know who did it. Tomahawk missiles aren't just for America. Other countries got it as well. Yeah, other countries that's aligned and joined with you, man. All right? So this place is all but finished, man. Okay? So let's go to Isaiah 47 and pick back up. This is Isaiah 47:12. It says, stand now with thy enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries. The wicked is estranged from the womb. As soon as they be born, they go speaking lies. What's part of their lies? The sorceries, the enchantments, the witchcraft. We're witnessing. We were part of it. Unknowingly, we worship so-called white Jesus. All right. Some of our people still to the day worship that image. Some of our people to the day still believe in so-called Christianity, man. It's all lies, man. But what's to be expected? We in the land of the Chaldeans, Babylon. It says, stand now with thy enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. The wicked is estranged as soon as they be born. They go speaking lies. It says that thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. See? If your sorceries, if your lies are going to be that which can continue to have your kingdom to go on, you shall profit. But guess what? It's not. It's been found out. All right? Through what? The men of the Lord. Coming out on the highway and hedges, putting up videos, exposing this place. You know, going back to the apostles, back to the 80s, you know, putting the word out, going back to Abba Bivens in the late 60s, man. All right? This place is finished. Okay? This place is finished. All right? So we just glad that the Lord woke us up before the great day of that destruction coming. So it says, stand now with thy enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail. And this place will not prevail, man. We read Job 14:5. The Lord has set bounds that this damn Edomite can't super succeed. He can't go past those bounds, man. Because why? After he's taken out, Israel, Jacob, the true biblical Israelites, have next in an eternal kingdom. All right? That's what we're waiting on. We're waiting on the kingdom of heaven, man. So it says, if so be, thou mayest prevail. Verse 13, Isaiah 47:13. Thou art weary in the multitude of thy counsel. See, Esau is scratching his head day and night in the multitude of his counsels. How can I prolong my kingdom? How can I tell the people that everything's going to be all right? Oh, I know. Hey, gas prices are going to go down a little bit. Don't worry. This thing will be over soon. And then the reporter asks him, how long is this going to last? I don't know. So how you going to tell me gas prices are going down, but you don't know when this thing is going to be over with? This damn devil is scratching his head, man. He can't figure out that this is the will of the Heavenly Father. This is the counsel of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai to draw this devil into the third woe, World War III. And he's using the small hats, the state of Israel, to do that. All right? Because why? He's getting ready to judge this whore, all right? For all his sins and wickedness, as we read in Revelation 18. So it says, thou art weary in the multitude of thy counsel. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee, right? So let all your sorceries, your witchcraft, and everything else that you put in and invested in save you, because they got satellites that can tell them, you know, the temperature, the weather, and everything else. But they can't tell you when the Lord is coming back, man, because it says no man knows the hour. No, not the angels, not I, but only the Father, all right? So this damn devil can't prolong his time, man, all right? Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is coming, and we're here heralding and that telling that our people get right, because Yahweh Shai is on his way. We can't tell you the exact time and date, but we can tell you we're close, because why? We're measuring the time diligently. We see the signs, the rumors of war. That's a biblical prophecy. That's how you know Yahweh Shai is on his way. Yahweh Shai is on his way. And these heathens, they're shaking in their boots, man. See? So it says, Isaiah 47:13, thou art weary in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Isaiah 47:14, behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. Right, we read that in Malachi 4:1. It says, the fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. Verse 15. Thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander every one to his quarter. None shall save thee. This place is finished, man. Because once these other nations see the writing on the wall, they packing up their shit and they getting the hell up out of here, man. All right? And they starting to see the writing on the wall, man. All right? So don't be surprised if you wake up one day and the Arab store that you seen for the last 15, 20 years is out of business. It's no longer there. He done got his money. He going back to his homeland, getting the hell up out of here before it gets too hot in the kitchen, right? Because all these other countries, all these other nations, they got somewhere to go to, all right? We don't have anywhere to go to, all right? Our homeland is being occupied by the small hats, all right? The fake, you know who, okay? So surely the least of the flock should draw them out. Let's go to Zephaniah. You know what? Let's go to Revelation 16 and 15. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 16 and verse 15. All right? And we just doing what our forefathers did before us. All right? We're going to get that. Lord willing, Jeremiah 28 and 8. All right? This is Revelation 16 and 15. Red letters. This is Yahweh Shai speaking, verse 15. It says, behold, I come as a thief. See? This is why the people ain't going to know. This is why they're astrologers, they're stargazers, they're monthly prognosticators. Can't tell them. Because Yahweh Shai is coming as a thief, man. You can't set your stubble spaceship out there in space and try to predict when Yahweh Shai is coming. Because why? He's not going to meet you as a man. He's coming back as an angelic force. 2nd Ezra 13 and 1. All right. He's coming from the 4th dimension. He's going to teleport into this damn place, man. And when he shows up in the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, Armageddon, you're going to see then. All right. You're going to see then. The stargazers, your prognosticators, your what else? Your astrologers, they can't tell you when he's coming. Let's read it again. Revelation 16 and 15. It says, behold, I come as a thief. It says, blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments. What's your garments? What's the garments? This truth, man. You got to stay in this word. You got to endure unto the end. You got to keep your garments on, man. 365, 7 days a week, man. It says, lest he walk naked and they see his shame, man. See? If you follow the truth, guess what? The angels and Yahweh Shai is going to see your shame, your nakedness, man. And they're going to say, depart from me. I never knew you. You workers of iniquity. All right? Verse 16 is the point. And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon or Hamageddon. All right? This is what's getting ready to happen. This is why surely the least of the flock is drawing America out. All right? Getting ready for that third war. For Yahweh Shai to show up as a thief. All right? Because why? They're monthly prognosticators. They're astrologers. They're stargazers. Can't tell them when Yahweh Shai is coming. All right? No one knows except for the Father because he's the one that's sending him. Not the angels, not even Yahweh Shai. All right? But you better believe Yahweh Shai waiting. He ready to get busy for his brothers down here. You know, hey, I don't want to say thugging it out, but hey, putting in work, man. All right? The angels of Yahweh Shai, they waiting, man. They saying, Father, come on, let us go, man. We ready. Father saying, not yet, son. You're going to get your time. All right? Just a little bit more. See, Yahweh Shai already, as soon as Yahweh say, go get him, son, Yahweh Shai get him off his crown, off from the right hand of the Father. He's gonna let out that battle cry. All right? And when he does, man, every eye shall see him, every knee shall bend, man. Because you're gonna find out in that time, he ain't coming to play around, man. All right? He's coming to get his vengeance. All right? And that's what we waiting on. Okay? So let's go to Zephaniah 3 and 8. Speaking on wait. This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3 and verse 8. This is Zephaniah 3 and 8. It says, therefore, wait ye upon me. Wow, we're going to read in Joel 3. It says, therefore, wait ye upon me, saith Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations. This is why America's getting drawn in. This is why eventually Russia and China is going to be drawn in. Because this is the Lord's determination to gather all the nations into what? The valley of, we're going to read it, Jeremiah 3 and 2. Yahweh Shaphat, Yahweh judges. It says, therefore wait ye upon me, saith Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations that I may assemble the kingdoms to do what, Yahweh? To pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with fire of my jealousy. See? So the Lord, through his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai, is going to get busy, man. All right? It's going to get busy, whether you ready or not. That's besides the point, because it says in Romans 3, what if some do not believe? Should that make the word of the Lord void? Roughly paraphrasing. It says, nay, let every man be a liar, let the Most High be true, man. Right? That's all we care about is what the word of the Heavenly Father says, man. And he's written it and given it to the prophets to prophesy. And guess what? We believe wholeheartedly that it's getting ready to come to pass. So let's read Joel 3. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3. Let's start from verse 1. This is Joel, chapter 3, and verse 1. Come on, huh? Joel, chapter 3, verse 1. This is why the Lord is gathering all the nations until what? The valley of Yahweh Shaphat. Joel 3 and 1. For behold, in those days and in that time when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down unto the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, which means Yahweh judges, and will plead with them there. This is where he's going to judge them, all right? This is where Yahweh Shai comes to first, man. As lightning from the east to the west, so is the birds, roughly paraphrasing, Isaiah 30 and 5. All right, he's coming in that formation. All right, he's going over there in the Middle East, what they call the Middle East, Western Asia, or the Levant. It says, Joel 3 and 2, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel. This is why he's doing it, for his heritage and his people Israel, a people near unto him. It says, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. This is why all the nations are going to be judged, because every nation had a hand, a foot, or something into us going into captivity. So the Lord is bringing them all to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, Jehoshaphat, and Armageddon is going to commence over there in what they call the Middle East. Right? This is why we're seeing what's happening. It's all culminated and leading up into that. It says, verse 3, and they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine. Why? That they might drink. See? That's all we were to them. Just a convenient commodity. All right? To trade amongst themselves. Okay? Well, guess what? The Lord says, he that leadeth, let's go there and get it. Revelation 13 and 9. All right? The Lord is a just power, man. He's not going to allow these people to do all of this and then ride off into the sunset without getting judged or plead. No, they're going to get plead, man. This is Revelation 13 and verse 9. Revelation 13 and 9. It says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. Verse 10, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. See? So guess what? The same way they led us into captivity, the Lord is going to allow us under our Lord and ruler, Yahushua, to take their ass to captivity. Right? It says, he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. The same way they killed us with the sword, guess what? We're going to take them with the sword, all right? And unalive them, all right? This is what you call just, all right? An eye for an eye, okay? You did it to us, we're going to do it to you. But we're going to do it to you double, all right? We read it in Revelation 18:6. Double this, double the cup, all right? Esau, you're going to catch hell twice as hard as any of these other nations. They're going to catch it, but for you, you're going to catch it twice as hard because in a land of righteousness, you can't get right. So we're going to be on your ass day and night, man. The only time you're going to get rest is on the Sabbath, right? So it says, he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience in the faith of the saints. See? This is what we're waiting on. This is what we got faith in. That the Lord is going to exact us, is going to revenge us, man. Right? And this is what our forefathers has been doing since their inception. Let's read it. Jeremiah 28:8. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 28 and verse 8. Because this isn't new to us, man. We come back every third and fourth generation. It says the spirit of the prophets are subject to the prophets, man. All right? This is what we were doing back in Israel, back in ancient Israel. This is what we're going to be doing in the last days, all right? Here in Babylon the Great. It's doing what? Prophesying. Why? Because that's the spirit that we're in. So this is Jeremiah chapter 28 and verse 8. And then we get ready to close out. This is Jeremiah 28 and 8. It says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied, both against many countries and against great kingdoms. What did they prophesy of? Of war, which we're doing now, and of evil, which we're doing now, and of pestilence, which we're doing now. All right, because why? We're those same prophets, Lord willing, coming back this last time to prophesy against this great kingdom, America, which it is a great kingdom. It's an empire of what? Of war, of pestilence, and of evil, man. That's what we do. That's what we come out here to do. That's our job. That's a commandment. Go out on the highway and hedges, man. So this is what we out here doing. All right. Lord willing, we be found and counted worthy to receive that mercy and that salvation when all hell breaks loose. All right. So we just keep on doing, Lord willing, to the end. And hey, may the Lord have mercy on you, brothers and sisters of the elect, if you are doing to the end. Lord willing. Albert Rothasau, Father will. So with that being said, we're going to turn and face the east towards Jerusalem, and we're going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, right? Shalom. Until the next time, if it be the Lord's will, Shalom. Stay strong, stay in the faith. We're almost home.